Eddie Bebrina, who Makura, where we be a Wogusrana, was also a citizen in Diawood, and Emma Yene, a strap for the almost bet me Adam, and what she a say I would a woman be near bet me Adwoa. Ama do a dear word, dear, let me across the Indian as well, Bane Eshe, Eddie Wood Medi. Jafe Akadia Woodwa, Ebeboa, Ama dear woman, and a bit Macosono, and yet dear Abenye Atiada, and woman da.
Our security services have been retooled and re-equipped substantially under this administration. Indeed, the first 4 units of 4-story blocks of 16 flats under the barracks regeneration project have been commissioned, and the remaining part of a 42-bedroom self-contained accommodation units for the 6th Battalion of Infantry and Airborne Force in Tamale have also been completed. Pickups, SUVs, trucks, high occupancy ambulance buses, ambulances, and armored personnel carriers have been added to the inventory of the armed force over the period, as well as the imminent completion of a forward operating base at Ezimlibo in the Jomoro district of the Western region. And in response to the creation of additional ranks within the military, government reviewed salaries and allowances for armed forces and civilian employees upwards, effective 1st January 2020.
Now, what to me, Ama Asara for me, just soldier for baby, Omdu Mutibeto, Akadia Wood, or man, Penny Twan, some so as Osha Ghana National to me, and the Ababakan, and as a woman, a year and 1 papers, and 1 crata, see a bit me Adwoa, Ama woman Sanso, etimi Akana, Efa, a year police, a jume dear woman, a dear one so dear. Man Penny say, Abra MPP, a Benny, Emma, and a Nasika, posy for better bomb, walk on, and then why a ding ye pa. And so, if he Abra MPP, a Benny, or no dear, Nimo Eba, you might me Adwoa, I'm a police, I won't be here. Akadie a wombe nyama wom dwumedie akosono dodo na ena womatimi ede ama warning.
The capacity of the Ghana National Fire Service has been raised with the procurement of 5 sets of extrication equipment and 2 hydraulic platforms procured. Indeed, when I took office in January 2017, the police service had a total of 492 serviceable cars. Government has since then procured for the police 735 additional vehicles, including 15 operational buses, a feat unprecedented in the history of the service. 320 housing units are being constructed at National Police Training School to reduce the accommodation deficits of the service. Modern communication equipment and fragmentation to policing. The construction of hangars at the police depot, Accra, for 4 helicopters already procured for the Ghana Police Service is 95% complete.
Mampanyini na nado danko akufado editu jase enyade ani wure free yenuanoma womo eda ne duafie da enam de say ntini prepare ne kase about 800 image capacity na womu sie ewo insawam sane betimi aboama yenuanoma wom da prison so no ombenya ba bi de wo muti ato enkonkwa so boko ho ahomebode apeso wo sim prepare ne kase ahamu nchichemu aduosia de sa dwubedie no egusara a womo eye.
Government is also constructing an 800 inmate capacity remand prison in Sawam, which is 60% complete. Its purpose is to reduce further overcrowding in prisons, as remand prisoners will now be kept separately from the convict population.
Eno echi ejapa royalties eho deal ya ekwokoye nsembebre wa Ghana ha kane special prosecutor Ora Martin Amidu ekoye ho hwehwemu de betu dwa ya wo chese enioma makomienu bi wo hono asa deal no encheye wo mu proye ne kankan bi akoso emu nse da na ho fan ya dom kuma no aye ho press conferences ne niema bebre omampani ekufo ado ese mu ana mo hwedim se ene deal no yensan enhwemu biem no atadwefo wa mate den ne sanse sa deal no wo kire se ebesan akọ omayimra hyebedwemu biem am wo mahwem.
The Speaker, let me at this point assure the House that in the course of this session of Parliament, the government will come back to engage the House on the steps it intends to take on the future of the Ejapa transaction.
na enu achi na Ghana mampanyini na nado dan kwa kufado ede tuja ese mprempe ne kasei womo ene independent power producers esi nkonya na womo ahwekon betimi afaso na saafo nso betimi aboa efa nyirem nkane ahodo wo man Ghana ye betimi anya bie na yetimi adamuwo na mampanyini ede tuja se bibie timi kopepe pa ebetimi aboa pa ama nkane awonsem no so no o man Ghana ye betimi anya kane papa.
The National Energy Policy 2020 has been completed to improve the framework and strategies to meet contemporary energy needs of the country. The government has improved the financial sustainability of the energy sector through several interventions. Producers, the terms of whose contracts entail substantial financial charges on the state, are ongoing and should be completed by the end of the year. This should result in a more affordable cost of power for the Ghanaian people.
Enti eka NDC for jato wonyina MPP for ba ye woma ba betua Ghana mampanyini ne nsam de bi ene no no tande to dwa se communities awodo na womo eni nyinam nkanea efi abra MPP aben eba ye no eyade abeye 1436 eno ni nkuru awodo a womo timi ede enyinam nkanea akoso asafo no emprempre ne kase
136 communities have been connected to the national grid, which has increased the national electricity access rate to 85.17% as of October 2020. My ambition is that by the end of my term, the figure will be
womu egusara woni AC plant ni bi ewo ne betimi aboa ama atoabo gas processing plant no ehonsem kanye ne ehudwumadie nyina so betimi akoso ma enyinam kanye ne bebia yenya free no na hoode no etimi akosoro.
A gas processing plant terrain is being constructed in the western region to complement the Atuabo gas processing plant so as to increase dry gas delivery for power and non-power.
5FM so eni enyume no nsia kase ne da so ekenkan ede emamo afei na wodi wafidie no ato hanamo a omampani akufuado State of the Nations address ya enne wodi tudwa ene ebubu no toto za petition ede mamo ene enyume ye stream live ewo Facebook ukọ ye page no so a VISION1 FM wo like na wa share wadaroma ede amaye ye toa omampani ne nsem no eso wakasa ye ede fa oman Ghana sedie ya dan ho nsem esifa etie oha hodo ya efa ya dansie ho ne ade omampani egufo do masi dan ana mato dan no na utim se nipa no wamie nani ayere no ho popopopa ne nyina ene sem ensase ho manso ene niema bia efa saa dwumadie no ho no eyade oha bebre no awo ho enti ansa no obi benya asase kra ne ho manso twe edoso buburu ja wo se aban ehwe ne nyina se wo mbesiesie saa oha no wo se saa sobuo we no enye se bia aban no na atwe na ni nso no brano bia se de Ghana fo ye doso ye population no ekoso ne akwantufo ya ebepi o man Ghana mu ni nyina ka ho bi na saa oha we ye hunu so aban ehwa ye ho adwuma.
Affordable housing program, which seeks to increase access to safe, secure, adequate and affordable housing units across the country, is also continuing in earnest. Thus far, 1,464 units in Boteman, 1,027 in Asokore Mampo, 312 housing projects have been completed in Kong. The Komar, Kuforidua, Tamale and Wa housing projects have been handed over to the State Housing Company Limited for completion. Speaker, it is my intention to place special emphasis on resolving the problems of the housing sector in the country because tackling the housing deficit is long overdue.
Omampani asai editu ja echre se eba Ghana ye keteke akwan ene ehu dwumadi ahodo no a America dollar no billion mienu ena aban ede ahye saa dwumadie no emu okire se tema mpakadan keteke dwumadie ne sia kase ohamu chichemu aduo wotwe womo awie ya ensiesi ahodo so ekoso railway training school ni nyina awie
some $2 billion towards the development of railway infrastructure and services. To this end, The government has rehabilitated a section of the narrow gauge Western Line from Kojokrom to Takwa through Nsota to facilitate the haulage of manganese from Nsota to the Takoradi port, and also to provide a passenger railway service to Manso is also ongoing. 500 million euro contract has been signed for the construction of a standard gauge railway line from Manso to Huni Valley. The Tema to Mpakadan railway project is currently about 80% complete.
Na nwa china Ghana mampanyini na nado danko Akufo-Addo edi to just prempre ayane kase womo esibaya 16 integrated recycling and solid waste processing facilities a eno no eba beboa ma bola ahodo ayeye wo memu ha nyina no yebeda ne ani na yetimi edi aya de foforo mampanyini edi to just sanjehye yi ebetimi aboa pa ama hunidie mapa afa ne ntampa efira ewo man no emuo.
Mr. Speaker, our quest to ensure an improved sanitation system across the country was bolstered last year by the commencement of construction of 16 integrated recycling and solid waste processing facilities. It is expected that all 16 facilities will be completed before the end of the
bush. Womo attempts are would wadi nieme nyina womo ede airman wo mampanyini na nadodanko Akufo-Addo edi to just say efi abra na abenyi eba ye no womatimi SCCC ajanan bia wodo na ede ama emfiemfia wodo no ewo memu anye kora no 103,449 Mofanchame 103,149 toilet facilities ena womo etimi SCCC ede ama emfiemfia wodo ewo omeyi emu.
Our efforts at ending open defecation received a boost with the construction of 103,149 toilet facilities for vulnerable households in towns and villages across the country under the Household and Institutional Toilet Program. The cumulative result of this has been that some 822,000 persons have benefited nationwide.
Na omampani Akufo-Addo efa yakwantempon ho ensem so omampani Akufo-Addo edi to just say afimpino any aduro no wo mu declare no year of roads. Afin so womo toa so ene road project ahodo no bebre no wo hwe anim se wo betimi awie wo ewiamu hyan gina bia Metro Airport ahodo ya womo ye ensiesie wo hono mo a eno so eba beboa akobadie omampani assigned to Jan wo che say STC buses ahodo yi ebi beye wo ha and womo a provide Metro Mass Transit Limited and so buses ni bi eka ho ne nyina no eba beboa ama akobadie ho nsem aye jojo.
Mr. Speaker, in my inaugural address, I declared 2021 as the second year of roads. This declaration is intended to continue to prioritize road construction so that road projects that started under the Heights projects are going to be outlined in the budget that will be read on Friday. Mr. Speaker, government has granted policy approval for the establishment of a national flag carrier, a home-based airline, with strategic partner participation. The House will be duly informed on developments in this area. Construction of the second and third phases of the Kumasi Airport, second phase of Tamale Airport, and the rehabilitation of the Sunyani Airport are all proceeding satisfactorily. A decision on the siting of the proposed airport and the central and western region is imminent. Mr. Speaker, in order to revive the fortunes of the Metro Mass public transport system, government has provided a total of 100 new intercity buses for Metro Mass Transit Limited, an additional 100 buses for the Intercity STC Coaches Limited. The construction of a new dedicated container terminal at the Tema Port is ongoing, and 3 out of the 4 berths have been completed to facilitate maritime and inland waterways transportation.
And I'm prempre ya neka se die wane baba shase kura na womatimi edi omujimedie ewo omaino emu 76 ewo hodada 112 die yehwe ni mo se eno ene fofra womo edi ababeka wo kura enche womeshase edi omujimedie.
232 projects are at various stages of implementation. These agro processing factories and 63 common user facilities are under construction.
Na Ghana man panyini na nando danko Akufo-Addo edi to just say enam planting for food and jobs nti enam so amane anuane atimi abusu ye pa COVID-19 ba ye kra no. Wo man Ghana aduane ho anye den amfa ma ye ne dan ne yen ye kra aduane edi firi o memu ha ekwa mahodo so eno no kire hye pa ban yi edi aba. Afen so African Continental Free Trade Area adwumadi eno na tima ba be pie mo wo man Ghana mu ha no. Ye ne anasa aban ne di nyama tutu akwemu ye pa ahwe se obetimi adi mo tintiman na watimi aboa ma enuano no yetima yedodo na ewo mem te said duane ho ba yeden wo man Ghana mu apa de Ghana man panyini wose nya de bibesie.
Our nation's food resilience has been severely tested. We have fared well under the circumstances, largely as a result of the bold policies implemented by government since 2017, such as the Program for Planting for Food and Jobs, Rearing for Food and Jobs, the One Village, One Dam initiative, the One District, One Warehouse policy, establishment of greenhouse villages, revitalization of the cocoa rehabilitation program, and the reactivation of our agriculture industry. I'm happy to inform the House that during this period of the pandemic, we have experienced no food shortages in this country.
Efa yensase ehun sem ehun krata afei gadam kwan so o se emfie na yi a etwemu yi aban ayenhyehya hodo bebre no a ama wo momutu fo magudie nso entete se de be ya wo mbetunu no matunu emra kwan so wo se community mining ya wo de ba ye enyuma hodo ya edi abre omanfo no bebre kwa ena afei nso hyehye so bata ho nti enyese wo mo ye no keke omampani esan de dwan wo se gadam se ne de eyade aya ohaw kese power Ghana hanom ya empenifo ahodo a abeya asoafo ada saasue na no wo mo aye bia ko abebedum pempenso ogidi se opanyini a wo mabo ne din foforo so wo mamehwe saa asoye no so ye mra ye no so.
In the last 4 years, so much has been achieved in cleaning up this industry, training miners in the best methods of mining, introducing community mining, enacting additional regulatory legislation. But the reality is that illegal small-scale mining remains a major problem. I am confident that the new energetic Minister for Lands and Natural Resources and a Member of Parliament for Damango constituency, the Honorable Samuel Abujinapo, will rapidly facilitate the holding of this national dialogue. And
kono national ID card no eno and tax identification numbers and face senate numbers no national ID card numbers no and yede ba be replace sa inyame ya mebuboso.
Mr. Speaker, for the first time, we have enrolled 15.5 million people onto the national ID card system, the Ghana card, and we will complete the process this year. From 1st April, and this is not an April Fool's prank, all national ID numbers will become tax identification numbers. In so doing, the number of people registered by GRA from tax purposes will increase from the current 3 million to 15.5 million.
Ghana man panyini na nado danko Akufo-Addo asanso editu just say enam digital property addressing system ya womo edeba yenti no so atimi aboa pa amanne baby bia e wo man Ghana upe location enya de awobre ho.
For the first time, through the implementation of the digital process of affixing unique property address plates for some 7.5 million properties in all 16 regions, has also started.
Odi to just say aban nyume nyina ene enam sa kwani nti wo nyina ye de wo nyina kwa ba futinta video so a opa bibia ya eno so na nya de awobre ho.
We have also digitized the operations of many government institutions, including the ports, NHIS, DVLA, GRA, and the Passport Office. One of the most dramatic examples of this development has been the ability of SNIT to pay pensions within 10 days of application, as opposed to the endless delays of the past.
Na enye no nkwa o okwa judicial services so a wodi tuja se ehon so no wo de wo dwumadi wo die nyina akwa abefo tinten fidie so.
Our judicial system has not been left out of it. The law keeps pace with technology ending the age-old missing dockets phenomenon and endless litigation, which have plagued the efficient delivery of justice in the country for many, many years. Government, through the Ministry of Local Government and the District Assembly Common Fund, for judges across the country.
Omampani Akufo-Addo ne krakra emu wode tuja ya wasan echese nya de ebeha ne kura se bia aban ya ono etisue wo mo aye bibi na ye ba betwi wo manimu ana ye kasa aban no wanya de e wo sa kwan so nya de ebeha ne kura wo se wo mo de nhihya hodo no bebre na agu akwamu ama se obi e wa aban mu no okita position bi kura no wo ye bone a emrama ho kwan na se ho bibia ni ho ye bone wo ho se e betwi nipa nanim e wo bedwam.
Crucial to achieving this vision is my uncompromising commitment to strengthening the institutions of our democracy and managing public resources with integrity, fairness, openness, and accountability. Mr. Speaker, ours is not a government that shies away from public scrutiny. Why in 2001, under the outstanding leadership of the second president of the Fourth Republic, His Excellency John Agyekum Kufuor, and with me as his Attorney General, the criminal libel law was repealed to protect and expand media freedoms in the country.
Na mampanyin na no danko Akufo-Addo ewie ye no sane amra ne bibia kire no chiame edema wo mamumra sebedwamo aba nzuma na gbagben so de nanumu nanidie nsem etu dwane no na okire mo se desi ade mampanyin awie nti no se wa makwan se wo mo entu eye asetra no emfa enhyeda na numu no se che mensa bo so de gina na so de tu dwase sane speaker waka no ne kwanso ana nti ne case asete no ya jene ede ko eda eno no edi animu no na Haruna Idrisu eye kuma wo mo wa masebe jomba no de ne yedi tu dwase mampanyin na dodan ko Akufo-Addo ne kasa ye maniema bia na nkomo hwani mo se obeka no wanka mampanyin eka ho bibibia na mampanyin wie ya wo mo nyina de asetan ne bibia ba na wie ye no ena mrasebe jafo enso ede saa enchichemu se ne wo mo hu budget state of the nation address no se na wo mo hu ne fae no wo mo de to central for anymore
period of Kasa, a comprehensive on touching almost all sectors. Just economy edition was so good. Despite COVID-19, the idea will be a thing economy and performance. Now, I saw my for so 2021 or San economy. Introduction of Procurement Act Bill, and also now Attorney General. And also, Baba or Baba. We need a will to fighting corruption. Or set up a body to fighting corruption. But for opposition leader, and
Rashawa Jafo bi ene yete wo mkan.
Abusua ye begina we so na afei enwume no nsia kase no ye de ne nyina esi ama ye gidi se de course nyina brofo akese ne ade no ye bubu bibia mu ama esi ade bibia aye clear nana opon enso atena se ya ade aka wode etwa so ye producers enwumrei eye Kwesi Bediako Davidson ena afei Kwabena Esuman ekuoko yenso a ye beje epeni kenkan kase no ede ma amomidin Adwoa Asare meni
Nana yawo Ampadu.
Adwoa, why you sweet oh?
Medase. My Jimmy too.
Why you sweet pa? Na ase ma making.
Yeah, meko.
Na
Meko, mapon.
Na Ampadu na ase me frɛ o.
Na bi mapon.
Oba Johnny.
Oh,
mapon nana.
Na ase ma making say me frɛ o, me mo odin.
Men ka hwe nana.
Na se me so men kan hwe.
Yo mate.
Adwoa why come on?
What dey fan sem? Me be pa asem.
Baby akọ yuti no o twa o fine.
Onso de o ye uti no why ne come pa ne board denti no.
Oh yeah.
Say we no ye very expensive woman.
Say see this no kura baby bebe owo achimota.
Oh okay.
Abufu.
Shine kakra.
Oh, gather to fit clothing.
Abba.
Ewo achimota abufu traffic light na se hono mo a baby a GH media for a junction ne so o hono mo a.
School na ma bebre o hono.
Ai.
Medase.